Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of The Mike Prince Show. I am your host, the radio guy, Dr. Mike Prince. And as you know, we come to you each and every day with information and stuff that you just can't get anywhere else, covered and featured in the world of HBCU, in particular, my beloved Prairie View A&M University. Today would be no exception to the rule. We are fortunate enough to have on the line right now a young lady who needs no introduction in the world of PV, but maybe to some of you, you need to remember, as they would say, what's the man, Birdman say, respect my gangster. And we're going to introduce and present to others none other than Hall of Famer, both PV and SWAC Hall of Famer, Miss Alicia Pete. How you doing today, ma'am?
I'm doing fine. Good morning. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Good morning to you. Exciting time on the hill. As a matter of fact, as we're speaking, you're in Oklahoma right now supporting the golf team. Is that correct?
That's correct. Norman, Oklahoma. Beautiful day. It's a little drizzy, but that's okay. They're going to make it through. It was pretty hot yesterday from what I understood, but everyone's saying today is a beautiful day.
Well, it's a beautiful day, and it's time for that purple and gold to keep right along rolling, and we're wishing them nothing but the best. Coach Kevin Jennings is out there with the young men representing the Southwestern Athletic Conference and Prairie View, of course, tournament, the NCAA tournament. I almost said the Sweet 16, but we still got a ways to go before we get to there. But they're representing. They beat everyone else and earned the right to represent the conference and the university, so we want to wish them nothing but success. We're going to transition. This young lady has a very impressive resume, and you'll find out when we connect the dots here. But as a player, class of 91 from Prairie View, she received major success, of course, in the classroom, but on the volleyball court, old stomping grounds in the volleyball court. So winning didn't just start in the new millennium. She was part of that transitioning from the old millennium to the new millennium. Not saying to say that you're old or anything, Miss Pete, but but we're transitioning through. Tell us your PV story.
Well, I was recruited by Mr. Yep, and we all know Mr. Yep, the financial aid director, back in '86. And you would have thought that he was the head women's basketball coach, but instead it was Bob Atkins. So back in '86, I was recruited to play basketball here at Prairie View University, knowing that was my mother's love. But at the end of the day, volleyball was really my heart. So during my sophomore year in '87, I decided to try out for the volleyball team. Of course, the coach thought I was a little bit too short to try for the volleyball team, but I stayed around for practice until practice was over. And he decided to go ahead and allow me to try for the volleyball team. And it was just a unique story because I was one of the little short ones, and every time I got to the front row, he would have all his tall trees at the top, hitting the balls, down at me. But, of course, me being me, I was able to block those balls and kind of, shut those tall players down. Then when I rotated to the back, of course, he put his tall trees back in the front, and, they'd hit the ball down, and I'll scoop those balls right up. But at the end of the day, the next day, he had the whole volleyball team looking for me to come play for him. And since that day, I've really, really had a great success at Prairie View. I really thank all the ones that have been there to support me. Prairie View is just a proud place for me to be.
So when they tried to shut the door on you, and it's an old saying, when the enemy shuts one door, God opens 3 or 4 others. So you just choose. And if it's something that you really desire in your heart, you don't let anyone turn your way. You just keep finding a way to get it done.
That's correct.
All right. We're talking, if you allow me to say, with legendary Alicia Pete. Came as a basketball player, but then her heart led her to the volleyball court, and the rest took care of history. Now, you have received major success on the floor, not only as a player, but as a coach. You were able to bring home a championship to Prairie View, and as a result, you've been able to submit yourself, as you would, for eternity as far as the university is concerned and the conference. You're in the Prairie View Sports Hall of Fame, and you're also in the Southwestern Athletic Conference Sports Hall of Fame. And give us your recollection on the day you got the news and what that really means to you at this stage.
Well, that meant a lot to me. And like I said, I just want to thank everyone for just being there for me. I want to thank Jocelyn Adams that actually started the tradition for me. She actually handed the baton down for me to start my production here at Prairie University as the head women's volleyball coach. So I want to thank her first of all, because without her, I don't think we could have been moving forward with me continuing to be successful in life with just being able to coach. But just when I got the news as far as being one of the nominees to be inducted into the Prairie Hall of Fame was really excited for me, and not only me, my husband and my family. Very supportive husband. I want to say thank you to Mr. John Pete, and he's been guiding me and continued to guide me in the way that I'm going. As a matter of fact, I think I was on the road with the golf team a couple of years ago when I received a phone call from the conference office and stated that they had actually selected me to be inducted into the SWAC Hall of Fame. So that was very exciting news for myself as well.
So you're getting all these accolades, and the beauty about this thing is when you're out there playing, you just putting all you have while you can for the team and the sport that you love. And who knows that as the time goes on that people look back and as those scripture references, let my work speak for me. And when your peers say, hey, you've done enough that we think we need to enshrine you, that's got to be a very special, motivating feeling.
Yes, correct.
Yes. Now we're talking again with Miss Alicia Pete. We talked about her accolades as a coach, but you've been fortunate enough. You've advanced your career, and now you're on the administrative team. And you guys keep listening because we're going to tie all these loose ends together here real quick. So now you're transitioning. You're coaching, and then you get an opportunity to advance. So explain that process, and we'll get a little up to speed on where we are right now.
Well, I want to thank Mr. Ashley Robinson. At some point, I knew it was going to be that time for me to kind of step down after having Xavier and Bryson, my two boys, and I knew it was going to be a little bit hard to be coaching and on the road with the volleyball team. And Mr. Robinson, when he came in as an athletic director, he did mention to me that he kind of wanted me to transition to the administrator. And I just want to say thank you to him. That was one of the best moves at the time to allow me to continue to grow with the university. So now I'm the associate athletic director for internal.
Yes, and so when you say the associate athletic director for internal, now of course people that might not be familiar with Title IX, you know that there is one athletic director, but then you got assignments in particular sports that fall under your umbrella. So roll those sports off if you would, ma'am.
That would be volleyball. That would be women's basketball. That would be tennis. That would be golf. That would be soccer. Did I mention golf? I think that's it.
Softball?
Yes, softball. Yes. Congratulations to softball.
Yeah,
sorry,
look.
Coach Blake, I'm sorry. I can't leave you off of that. My apologies.
We're trying. Look, I told you we was going to connect the dots, right?
Right.
So, and look, and I'm winking right now. I won't chalk that up to age because we're both in the same neighborhood, but I won't chalk that up to age. That's what they say, a seasoning moment right there. But so with you being over these departments and over these programs, it's got to be a special feeling for all of us as PV Nation. But when the internal doings and the planning, preparations for these coaches, for these student athletes, the things that you have to go against, some seen, some unseen, many of them unseen, it's got to be a personal victory for you to see not only these sports, but sports under your watch flourish as they are right now.
Well, it is. And one thing that I've learned from Mr. Robinson is never say no. Try to make sure that all coaches are comfortable. He's very supportive within every sport, so I have kind of just trickled down to have the same personality to him. The more you support the coaches, the better off they feel. I always tell everyone that I work for my coaches, and as long as you work for your coaches, they know that you're here to support them. And at the end of the day, it'll end up to be very successful for them, and not only for them, for the university as well as ourselves.
Absolutely, and we're talking about a successful run. Of course, she's there supporting Coach Jennings and the golf team as they have teed off this morning. A little slow start, but there's enough time to make up room, I should say. And one of the magical moments in Southwestern Athletic Conference history, even NCAA softball history, was the Lady Panthers in their recent run in Montgomery, Alabama, winning 6 consecutive games to win the Southwestern Athletic Title softball championship. And for those who don't know, there is as they say, a common denominator. I didn't say this at the beginning, but we all kind of were stomping around the hill around the same time when I as a baseball player, she as the basketball / volleyball, and then the coach that brought it home, old teammate of mine, Coach Bland, and he was very reflective and acknowledging you and Coach Burgess for being instrumental in him to get his start. So it had to be a personal sense of satisfaction and joy to see that, hey, here's one of a PV grad, a person that you can't take full credit, but you say a person that we helped avenue of getting the opportunity to coach, and now they're bringing home a championship, and the first time in 20 years. So that had to be a special moment for you as well.
Right. Well, unfortunately, I wasn't able to be there, but Mr. Robson kept me tuned in, stayed tuned in on his radio station. I appreciate that. But yeah, Blaine is just a great guy. You know, I knew it was coming, and prior to his departure, he did call me. He said, "Miss Pete," he said, "I'm bringing home the championship." I said, "Bring it on." And he said he felt it. Yeah, he said he felt it before he even left campus. So, he's a guy that we were able to bring from. He was working over at the University College, and we knew that we needed a full-time coach to get out there and do great recruiting, because we feel like that's the best way of having success here with our program, is just having full-time coaches. And once we pulled him out of the classroom, he was able to go out there and recruit, and this is where recruiting led him to a very successful program.
Absolutely, a very successful program with a very prominent future with the team. As the success that they had is a relatively young team, so hopefully it's the start of something real special. Now, they will be taking on the Lady Aggies on Friday, and I'm assuming that you would be plane hopping, and you'll be back in time to partake in some of that, correct?
And that's correct. I'll be leaving out tomorrow, and I'll be zooming on down there probably Thursday or Friday morning.
All right, so everybody get your purple and gold. We can do an invasion at College Station, not that far down the road, 53 miles to be exact. So we can go in there, raise a little cane, and have some purple and gold taking over the maroon and white area, and let's cheer these young ladies on to victory. Now, Coach Pete, I know you're out there supporting the golf team, and I don't want to, as they say, eat you up too much, but what I want you to do, especially when we talk to the alumni here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network, we want you, and you've given us a brief introduction, but if you could summarize how and what does Prairie View mean to you, and how has it impacted your life?
Prairie means a lot to me. I just think without being recruited my freshman year by Mr. Yep, and I thank him all the time. He was an official that officiate one of my basketball games. I just want to thank him. I think he was a lead person as well as my mother. I did have an older sister, Yolanda, who was a cheerleader. My brother Freddie, that was in a band, and sister Monica, that was a majorette. So Mom had already told me that I had no choice but to come to Prairie View. But just making that choice was the best choice for me. I just feel like that I've been very successful here at the university with all the supporting people. And I wouldn't even change to go another direction. So I really appreciate all the people that was able to help me step where I am today.
Absolutely. And while she was here, she was a part of the CPs and her infamous AKA connection. And we're going to give you a chance to give some shout outs to them right now.
Right. I want to say thank you to all my sorors, AKA, as well as Club Panther Red and the Panther Club, my brothers. I want to say thank you very much. all the support when I was here.
Yes, ma'am. All the support, all the love. Is there anyone you would like to give a special shout out to as we get ready to close this little segment out on today?
Right, of course. As I mentioned, my husband, John Pete, and my kids, as well as my mother, who's always inspired me just to be all I can be and be very successful.
All right, Coach Alicia Pete. Um, is it SWA? I don't know what their title is, man. They do so many acronyms, but we're just gonna say Associate Athletic Director. Is that safe to say?
Yes, sir. For
Okay.
internals, yes, sir.
Yeah.
That's true.
I know that titles and stuff change, but we're not trying to disrespect anyone, but just let you know that we're so PV proud of you. We're excited for what's going on in Panther Nation, and we're excited for the future to come toward Panther Nation. And we do appreciate you taking time out to be a part of the Mike Prince Show on today. As always, ladies and gentlemen, we try to keep you informed, in touch with the world of PV Nation and beyond. You can follow me on Twitter at Radio Guy. Instagram is Radio Guy 22. And don't forget the website is obn-radio.com. And if you happen to be in the PV area, you can check us out at 87.9 FM. Until the next time, you guys be blessed. I am the Radio Guy, Dr. Mike Prince, and we'll see you on the other side.